Howdy, friends and floorheads. I have been dying to try this game, and the first thing I did early today was back it on Kickstarter. So for first and foremost, if you are watching this while the Kickstarter is still running or there's late pledges, make sure you check it out. But I am not the one who made this game. It turns out the one who did is on here. So Sam, this is the first time we've been on stream together.
That's true. I've been on your podcast.
Yep.
I love being on your podcast, but this is the first time. And I hope you are going to come on my podcast later this year, actually.
I would love to. So for those of you that recognize Sam's voice, Sam, can you tell us who you are?
Yeah. My name is Sam Dunwald. I'm the host of Dice Exploder, the twice Emmy-nominated design podcast where every week we take one mechanic from a story game, from an RPG of some kind, and break it down as deep as we possibly can. And I've been doing that show for like 3 years now, and I am very excited today. As Craig said, I've launched this Kickstarter for Band-Aids and Bullet Holes, my first print game that is sort of the culmination of everything that I've learned from doing this design podcast for 3 years. So I'm really excited to get this out into the world and show off to people what I kind of think some like best practices and like what my taste is in these games and how we play them.
And then right above me is Serafina. You might recognize Serafina's voice because Serafina is the better host of Dice Exploder, as we've recently learned. Serafina, can you say
wow. Yeah. Oh, God, such high expectations for me already. My name is Serafina Garcia Ramirez. I also go by Sarah. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a designer, writer. I have, in fact, been on Dice Exploder a couple of times now. I wrote a piece for Rascals, so some people might have read, and I'm writing a playset for Band-Aids and Bullet Holes, which is an unofficial crossover with Triangle Agency. So nice. I'm a big fan of this game and very excited to play it yet again.
Yeah.
Let's get started, Sam.
Yeah, so let's walk through it. So I'm going to pull up my little reference document for that says getting started at the top. So the first thing we have to do as players, we have to go around and say our favorite childhood action figure, doll, or toy. So I'll go first. My favorite toy, I had like one of those like Fisher-Price castles when I was a kid with a bunch of like plastic knights in it. And early on in my time after receiving this thing for Christmas, one of the knights got their little head knocked off. And so I created this canon for this particular night that they were like a ghost haunting the castle. And that night was my favorite toy.
Serafina, your favorite?
Yeah. I didn't really process how strange an object this was until recently, but I had it was a Transformers branded toy, but it changed from a Republic Jedi starfighter into Anakin Skywalker. So it was a Star Wars Transformers crossover toy, and like it had a couple of lightsabers and as an Anakin Skywalker that when you turned it into the ship, you could like fire them as little blaster bolts out of the ship. I had so much fun just sitting there in a room by myself, turning it back and forth from one form to another.
I feel like any action figure that has little pieces that like pop off of it, that's like a winner, you know?
100%.
So this is where we discover just how much older than the two of you I am. I'm not going to say big G.I. Joe. I'm not that old, but it is small G.I. Joe. So the original Hasbro small G.I. Joes, which really kind of launched that size action figure, was those G.I. Joes. I had Snake Eyes. It was one of the first ones that I got. And even though I got it, I was spoiled and got a whole bunch of them. Snake Eyes was always my favorite because he had the cool swords.
Did snakes come out of his eyes?
No.
Too bad. Yeah. But I had to save that for Indiana Jones, right?
That's right.
Okay, so I like to start with that kind of like icebreaker question. It's built into the game because I really want us to go into playing this game with the mindset of I'm about to take a bunch of characters and dump them onto the middle of the table like a pile of action figures. And the way we're going to play this game, instead of the traditional like D&D model of like I'm the dungeon master and you're all players, we're all just like friends hanging out with this pile of toys in the middle of the table. And on your turn, you're going to pick up two of the toys, whack them together, and see if one of their heads pop off. And that's going to be the sort of format today for how the game works. So we're kicking off here with I think people can see the board here.
They can.
And we're kicking off with this playset called Left 4 Dead. This is called a powder keg, and it's basically the scenario, the broad situation that we are going to find ourselves in today. Our local cast of assassins are going to find themselves in today, because we should say this is like a John Wick, Kill Bill style inspired revenge game, right? Like we're going to be playing as a bunch of like anxious and bloody assassins who are like out to kill each other. And this Left 4 Dead premise here, does one of you want to do, Sarah, maybe you want to do a dramatic reading for us?
Yeah, for sure. It was supposed to be easy. Smash and grab, get out with the loot, be on our way. And I guess it was. We smashed, we grabbed, we got out. And then my bastard partner shot me and left me in a ditch so they could keep it all for themselves. Years later, I finally recovered. And even if the Justicars have long forgotten me, all the wealth in the world can't save them from what's coming.
Nice.
Yeah. Crime gone wrong. We love to see it. So we got that word Justicars in there too, and one of our main characters you can see here is going to be a Justicar, and this is the Justicars are part of the layer of this game, sort of like in John Wick. They've got the high table, they've got this sort of assassins union that has made up a bunch of rules for all these assassins, presumably so they don't just go around killing each other willy-nilly to like root out the competition. The Heaven is the name for that assassins union in the world of Band-Aids and bullet holes, and the Justicars are Heaven's cops essentially. And we certainly always follow the rules of Heaven's laws, and none of the Justicars are corrupt, and everyone gets along very kindly in this world.
This game's gonna suck.
Yeah. Kickstarter over. All right. But so you can see in the center here, the table, we've got these 6 different roles in this powder keg, right? We've got the Bloodhound in the center here. This is going to be our protagonist, left for dead by the bastard after a heist. And the bastard is their antagonist, right? Like the former partner who left them for dead. And these various other characters around who were related to those two in the middle. And I'm going to click this character select button. And now, look at all of this. So we've got these 12 different pre-generated characters along the bottom, and we're going to take turns going around and casting one of these characters in the powder keg proper here. Sarah, do you want to kick things off?
Yeah, so many excellent options. You prefer, have any preference for which role I cast first, or dealer's choice?
No. Let's just do whatever we think is cool.
So this really gives me that idea that you're talking about, Sam, of let's take all of these superhero or all of these action figures, dump them out, decide who is what. Like that's what we did as kids. This is great.
The other thing, people can see a GIF of this that I made on the Kickstarter page, but the other thing I like to imagine at this point of play is like the Super Smash Bros. Character select screen, right? Yeah.
Really, really good. I'm gonna go ahead and say that Lockhart's gonna be our Justicar.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Coming right out.
Every character here is going to come with a couple of calling cards. You can see these sort of below them at the bottom of the screen here, and also kind of like around in these red zones on the side. If we were playing in person, the way this would work is we would have a deck of playing cards, and Lockhart would be one card here, like a character card with kind of their information on it. But then they have on their character information a couple of calling cards. They've got an animal head mask and a pool cue lined up. And so I would flip up a couple of playing cards in front of Sarah, and I'd say, okay, Sharpie pool cue onto one of those and animal head mask onto the second, and then make up a third, and you get to make whatever you want for the third. For us online here, for the third, for our purposes, we're going to pick from these ones off in the red zones. But to begin with, we've got Lockhart's cards here, the pool cue and the animal head mask that I've kind of dragged in with them. And then Sarah, go ahead and pick their third.
There's something really comedic to me about picking Naive Face for
the chicken mask.
Yeah. But I think instead we're gonna go with a disarming accent.
Oh, that's really fun. I like that a lot. Okay, Craig, why don't you go next?
Oh, this is so cool. we have to have Worm as part of this.
Everyone loves Worm.
Yeah, I think Worm is our fence.
Yeah,
Worm
that's
feels
always
like
who
a
they
fence.
are.
Oh, is it really?
No,
I
it's
say, like,
good.
Craig, that's never happened before. You're so original.
No, it's just some characters were just born to be a fence, you know?
Yeah,
look
that
at
just
this.
feels right. So we've got a crumpled lotto tickets, phenomenal, broken nose, and oh my God, bisexual lighting. That's amazing. That's one of those things that, like, it's two words put together that I have no idea what they mean, but I know exactly what they mean.
Yeah. But bisexual lighting actually has its own Wikipedia page. It's specifically
really?
that like blue and pink
that's
when you get
funny.
that on both sides of someone's face.
I think Bag of Wine.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Sure.
Yeah,
Lotto tickets, wine, a broken nose, and pawn shop. That feels like Worm's natural habitat.
I did a game where Worm also ended up being cast as the fence, and it was, I think he had like an exotic animal emporium. It's just such a slimy little guy. I love him.
And I can't play one of these games without my boy Barf in the game. I really love my boy Barf. I really want to see Barf as the Bloodhound here, like just a sad sack, bloody knuckles, stench of cigars, and I think naive face. I want Barf to have the naive face, right? Just like, assumed the best in the bastard and like really paid the price for it, but like can't get that face to go away. Sarah?
Beautiful. Yeah, I think we're gonna have Bubba Run with Becca as the bastard, and she has a puppy in her purse, a snake venom nail polish, and I gotta do it. Galloping horse. She's on horseback.
Yeah, great. Or at least she can. I think she can summon a horse like Link in a Zelda game, right? Like whistles and Epona just like kind of comes galloping down.
Yeah.
All right, so this is interesting because I want to go Pastor John, and I think both as the victim and the caretaker is really interesting, right?
Yeah.
Did Barf target the church,
Yeah.
as part of this heist, or did Barf end up going to the church? I think I want Pastor John to be the victim. Pastor John has a scar across my neck, a sawed-off shotgun, and what is that one-eyed cat? Oh boy. Let's do Toothy Grin.
Toothy Grin. That's a nice one out of the victim, I feel like. So I get to go last here. Let's do Maurice. Nursed Barf back to health. Fists like bowling balls and a worn paperback Moby Dick for Maurice. And I think I'm gonna give them a one-eyed cat too to go along with it.
I feel the urge to do commentary like a sommelier, being like, excellent choice.
Great. So we've got all these characters all set up now. This is going to be our kind of cast here. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go around and each take turns checking in on one character other than someone that we cast. So I can't do Barf or Maurice.
Got it.
And we're going to check in on someone and describe just a couple of sentences of them at their safest and most loved. Like, where's their happy place?
Do you want to go first, Serafina?
Yeah, for sure. I think we'll start with Worm, and I think it's going to be a casino. But I think Worm's game of choice is craps. Like, even sitting on a stool can just barely see over the edge of the table. But it's absolutely a very comfortable, safe space for them.
I think they're such a good customer that they let Worm bring in the bag of wine from outside.
Amazing.
So he's just like sitting there at the craps table with the like bag of wine. Like,
Yeah.
And such a regular that the cocktail waitresses know just to bring an empty wine glass.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking he's drinking directly from the bag.
So he takes the bag, he pours it into the wine glass. As he finishes it, puts the glass back until another empty glass comes. And I just see his little, like, reaching up to put the little chip on the tray for him.
Yeah. the little face just over the edge of the table. Yeah.
Yep.
They give him the child height chair at the restaurant chair to like sit at the craps table.
I really think Worm's like in Kingpin in Spider-Verse is a character who's like always big enough to fill the screen. Worm's the inverse. He's always short enough to just barely be poking over the edge.
Always looking like Kilroy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right, Sarah. No, Craig, you're next.
Yeah. So I want to check in on Blabbermouth Becca.
Mhm.
And I think where she feels the safest is at the stable. So we have one galloping horse, but I think Blabbermouth Becca is a horse connoisseur and a lover of horses. And I think where she is her happiest is when she's got her puppy over her shoulder in her bag, a big hairbrush, and she's just brushing the horses, and super quiet, super tranquil, until one of the stable hands shows up, and then she loses her shit and just screams and yells about, "You're not doing this, you're not doing that, I told you to do this," and then just turns back peacefully to her horse and just starts brushing it.
Yeah. All right. I think I want to check in on Pastor John. I think Pastor John. I'm curious. Did anyone got an idea of like what we stole from the church? Like, what did Barf and Becca take? You can just.
Do we think? Do we think this church is legit, or is it like a front?
I think there's something in the basement.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, a pastor doesn't have a toothy grin without having something in the basement.
So it was someone's like money making operation, and they money laundering operation, and they busted in and stole a bunch of cash. So I think Pastor John, like this robbery was like years ago, and I think the operation is still up and running, even though they took that hit, And Pastor John really does just feel calm, almost like in the same kind of position as Becca with the horse, but instead with just like doing the accounting involved down there, right? Like an old, it's like the 1980s, like LC, not LCD, CRT,
the green
monitor.
lamp.
Yeah. And just like tapping away on the spreadsheets.
And I'm imagining there's a tithe tray just to the next, and he's grabbing an envelope, opening it up, and that's what he's laundering, and that's how they launder it, right? They come on Sunday, they fill up this tithing tray, and then he launders it through. That's awesome.
Yeah, totally. Cool. Okay, so now that we've kind of like met some characters here, we've cast them, we've seen them in their element a little bit. We have to take the oath of heaven. We have to become ferrymen of heaven. Yeah.
Sam, are we doing the happy place for the other three characters?
No, we can skip that. That's fine.
Totally good. Cool.
So yeah, we have to join heaven. We have to take the oath of heaven together. We're gonna all do this together, and it's gonna be online, so it's gonna be a horrible mess of audio. Everyone's gonna find it miserable to listen to. It's gonna be the best. So if everyone has that play sheets document open, Sarah, do you have a link to that?
It's on the tabletop, but you can send a link over too.
Oh, well, that's just the laws. We need the opening part too.
Oh, of course, yeah, for sure.
Okay. You know what? In the interest of time, I'm gonna just like read out the opening part,
Perfect.
and then we'll go down.
I'll put my hand up.
Yeah, perfect. We'll go. We'll go down. So I'm gonna read the like opening line, and then starting with Sarah, and then to Craig, and then back to me. We can each take turns reading one of the laws, and then I'll read the closing line again for everyone.
Perfect.
So everyone, raise your hands, and don't repeat after me because that'll also be a huge amount of time. We are the gentle ferrymen of heaven. We promise our lives to heaven's own laws.
I will never seek the death of a ferryman.
I will never aid one who seeks the death of a ferryman.
I always repay my debts in the manner my debtors demand.
When I witness a ferryman breaking their oath, I will always alert a Justicar.
A Justicar's word is law.
Should I fail to uphold these laws, let the fury of a Justicar lay me low, be it by death, exile, or whatever penance they demand. And the ferryman in there is their heaven's stupid word for assassin, right? Like they love this sort of euphemism, like when you're hired to do an assassination, you're paying someone's way onto the river of death. But then you go fucking kill him, and that's sad. So that's it. Now we're members of heaven. Congratulations, everyone. Let's dig into it. So the first scene here, we're gonna kind of, the rest of the game is gonna be going around and taking turns doing scenes. And the first scene is always with the Bloodhound, with Barf in our case, in the moment when Barf swears revenge on Becca. And I don't know what that looks like. Someone else hopefully knows what that looks like. If one of you would like to pick up Barf and tell us about that moment.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Should I move? Is this right? Yeah,
you can move him down into these slots right here for whoever the active protagonist is.
Phenomenal. Yeah. I think this is, like we mentioned at the start, Barf's been recovering for years at this point. I think we see that, like, on one hand, we have like 3 fingers that have been replaced with prosthetics and scars running up the rest of the arm of like pretty shoddy stitch work that they got in the back alley somewhere that repaired them after some grievous wounds. And on that hand, they're flipping between their knuckles a poker chip, and it's flashing back and forth. And then they flip it in the air and catch it, snatch it out of the air. And as like they're holding it and staring, I think like the camera zooms out and we see Barf's sitting in like the moldiest basement you've ever seen. Truly like an awful place to spend any sort of time on this earth. And like in the fluorescent lighting, Barf's just sitting here staring at this poker chip, and we hear his like muscles tense and a crack, and the hand opens, and Barf has crushed the poker chip in his hand, lets the dust fall to the ground, and then gets up and walks out, and we're left with the camera just on this lone chair under the fluorescent lighting.
Yeah. So you're going to continue driving Barf in our first scene here. The way scenes work in this game is the first thing you do is you decide who you want to play as. So you got to play Barf in the first scene. And then you decide what you want and who you want it from. And I would say if you're not picking Maurice here as the other person you want something from, I would like to just sort of like have a little moment with Maurice, like in the montage of the like 3 years of recovery or whatever, where Maurice is hanging out with Barf. But maybe you want something from Maurice. Maybe we could do that scene on its own.
Yeah, I think Barf wants Maurice's advice. I think like Barf was never the brains of the operation, and it's like this sort of scheming and planning was never really his style. But he knows he can't just go about this willy-nilly and with his usual. Well, I guess with the carelessness he used to embody. So he wants Maurice to give him that keen tactical eye about how to get his revenge.
Yeah, totally. Craig, do you want to play Maurice, or do you
I would
want
love
me
to?
Okay, do it.
I'd love to.
Yeah. So you get to be whoever the sort of the second character in the scene is. That player gets to be the accomplice for the scene, is what I call that role. If you've got the doc open there, Craig, it's page 3 of the reference docs, and you can see here that
So, Serafina, if it's okay, I'm imagining Barf going up the steps from this moldy basement and coming into a kitchen, which is barely cleaner than the basement. And there's this mountain of a man has his back to the door. On the counter, we have a cat there, and I'm just imagining the back of his head has got like a distinct mole that's very obvious. That's got a couple hairs out of it that makes you like, and Boff, are you leaving me?
Oh, hold on, actually.
Oh, sorry.
After you describe the place, I get to give the venue a calling card.
Oh,
the same way that the characters have venue call. So you all have calling cards of your own, right?
Yeah.
But then I get to deal out all these venue cards and pick one of these, or like in person again, I would get to make up my own, right? But like I like cracking concrete here. That seems perfect for me. So I'm gonna give the place that. I just, exposed brick was another one of those. I really want to get into that, like the walls, like the plaster on the walls is cracked and all of it's like 3 generations of gross man have lived in this house and like hidden treasure in the walls, and then come back later with a sledgehammer and opened it up and taken the treasure out. And it's like not even the insulation is left in the walls, right? Okay.
Yeah, Barf hears that from Maurice, and I think like there's a jitteriness to Barf that I think is always sort of present. One of his calling cards is stench of cigars. He's not smoking here. There's a patch on his arm, but his clothes still stink like nicotine and smoke. And so there's like his ankles bouncing, and he starts pulling up cases from under the table and off to the side, and we see guns, knives, stuff that's entirely too expensive for how cheap this apartment is. He's like, "It's time, Maurice. It's time. I gotta go get what I deserve. I need my revenge. I need your advice. I need to know where to go."
You need eggs. And he turns around and he's got like a cast iron pot with a thing, and he perfectly sunny side up eggs, and says, "We've talked about this. I understand your need for revenge, but I did not spend all of this time finding the 4 people who can replace your fingers, only for you to end up dead."
I feel dead already in this stupid home. You spend so much money on all these ingredients. You could buy new light bulbs at least. My God. But Barf does sit down and begin shoveling eggs into his face.
So ungrateful.
You understand that if you go on this path, no more eggs. This will be your last time having Popeye get off the counter. This will be your last time having my eggs.
The fork pauses halfway to the mouth, and Barf goes completely still. I'm already on this path, Maurice. I got put on this path a long time ago, not by my choice. But I'm not the kind of man who takes a rest before the journey's done. I already feel like I've been sitting still for too long. I gotta move.
I understand the need for a death wish, but you understand that if it is found out that you go against another ferryman, whether they've crossed you or not, and I in any way have aided you, you are signing my death warrant as well. So why do you want to kill me, Barf?
You call my perfectly reasonable desire for revenge a death wish. You want to make it not a death wish? Tell me what I should do. Tell me how I can get what I deserve. And I'm going to make a move.
Yeah, there's some moves in this game.
Yeah. it's my turn. So I'm going to negotiate. So I want to I think I'm going to take the plate with the food on it and throw it against the wall, and it smashes. And I think it's like evident to you that like Barf's barely holding in all this nervous energy and needs somewhere to direct it. And if you don't point him in a direction, it's going to be at anything around him.
So what's the negotiation there exactly?
Yeah, I'm threatening to smash the place up and throw a tantrum basically, unless I get some advice on where to go next.
And I pause and I point to indentations of plates on the wall already and go, we do this every week, Barf. I am running out of plates. It's very dramatic. But you're just going to go back downstairs to the basement.
Not this time. I'm ready. I know I've been saying all. I know I keep been saying that for the past 2 years, but I'm ready. I'm ready to go cut Rebecca down a notch, and I want to have a nice goodbye, Maurice. I really do. I want this to be a hallmark moment, but it's your call.
There's one plate left in the cupboard. And the cat is up there and just kind of looks over at y'all and pushes the plate off onto the floor.
And it crashes down.
Yeah. Like right to like punctuate the end of Barf's monologue.
Looks over and goes, God damn it. And reaches under the table and pulls out a pistol that's taped under the table and says, I can't let you go, Barf. You have to stay. I can't unleash you. There's a reason you needed a partner. You can't do this. Not alone.
Maurice, you're very good at many things, but you're a shitty liar. And I'm going to turn my back to you and walk out.
To close this, maybe, we see Maurice go, son of a bitch, and he reaches under, pulls a clip out from below it and realizes he didn't load the gun. He loads the gun.
Wait, before that, does he pull the trigger or not?
He does. That does, exactly.
Pulls the trigger.
Pulls the trigger 3 times as you just...
Barf's like walking confidently and here's the trigger go. He's like, ah, shit. And then
perfect.
That's great. Okay.
That smells
so
like
that
scene.
That was the first scene. I didn't say this explicitly, but anyone who's not one of the 2 main characters in a scene gets to play as the city. And the city is sort of like the Greek chorus, like co-GM kind of role in the game, right? So the city explicitly gets to do that, assigning the venue some calling cards up top. But the city also has a few moves of their own. They can like send in 24 goons if they want to, stuff like that. So if either of you end up as the city here, or when you end up as the city, feel free to look at that sheet and see what's available to you. Craig, I think it's your turn next, though.
All right, so we're gonna put Maurice back.
Yeah, back they go.
Back they go. I feel like I don't want to play Barf. I want to play Pastor John. So I'm gonna take that, and I think that the Justicars know, they just kind of know that it's time for Barf to enact his revenge. Almost like I'm imagining Lockhart looks at his watch and goes, ugh, it's time, right?
Can feel the rhythm of the story.
Yeah, and I think my accomplice is the Justicar. And I'm imagining the reason the Justicar is going to Pastor John because they feel there's a good chance that that's where Barf might be headed first as well.
So which character wants something from the other character here?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So just to recap, it's you pick who
Yes.
you want to play,
Yep.
and you say what they want and who they want it from.
I think Pastor John wants Lockhart to do his goddamn job. So I think Pastor John is like, it's been 3 years and enough is enough. You've known where Barf is this whole time. It is time for you to do your job.
Yeah, great. So I'll play Lockhart. I'll play the Justicar. And I get to say where we are. I think where do we think Lockhart hangs out? I want to do a bowling alley. I think Lockhart enjoys just sort of like parking at the bar at the bowling alley and like bowls occasionally, but is much more sort of there to just sort of hold court. And yeah, that's where they are. So Sarah, you get to add a venue card here for us.
Yeah. I'm going to twist this a little bit. I think the bowling alley has a really high-end fog machine.
I was just thinking this is amazing.
Yeah, it's like the neon lights going, kind of like nighttime bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a creeping fog inside this bowling alley.
I'm adding the neon lights too.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Great. So there I am. I'm sitting at the bar. I've got like a line of like finished beers like down the bar next to me, and I'm like picking at the end of some fries. I like kind of shove them under the mask a little bit, as we're sitting here. Tell me about Pastor John arriving.
So in the background, we see the bowling at the different lanes are lined up, and we've got the smoke machine going, and all of a sudden you hear this ball and then crash, and we just see a strike, and it causes the fog to kind of mist away, and we see the back of this tall, lanky priest, and he turns around and gives the sign and walks up to the bar. Lockhart.
You don't need to have such a flashy entrance every time.
Somebody should get a strike here at some point. Look at your watch.
I see what time it is. I know what time it is.
It is time for you to do the work. I was wronged. And it was a success despite the fact that Boff was involved. We've given him time. The customary 3 years and 17 plates of eggs. It's time.
Which of laws has he broken exactly?
The fact that I have to explain this to you is very frustrating, along with the fact that you call yourself part of heaven. That is my jurisdiction, but this is fine. This is fine.
He didn't try to kill you.
No, this is true.
He just made you mad.
He did that too, but there needs to be a sixth law, which is you should not co-opt my lover to be a partner in robbing me. He not only stole money from me, but he destroyed my relationship with quiet, demure Becca. And I think a combination of those two has to fit in there somewhere.
I can check in with Barf, but anything I do to Barf, I'm going to have to do to Becca too. They're accused of the same crime, aren't they?
She was fooled by that smooth-talking Barf. He's so smooth in the way that he talks, and she couldn't help herself. But what if we do this?
Very, very briefly, the camera cuts to Barf drunk off his ass somewhere.
Yeah.
And cuts right back.
And I'm imagining that cuts to Becca screaming and yelling at somebody as I say demure. What do you need from me to do what you are supposed to have done already.
$50,000.
Oh! Reaches into his pocket and goes, 25, 25, and there's another 10 if you get it done today.
The chicken man takes like, it must be $8,000, right? And like waves over the bartender and is like, I'd like to pay my tab, and like leaves it on the counter.
Yeah.
And kind of like stands up and is like, I make no promises. They haven't broken any laws, but I'll make a house call for you. We can kick them around a little, if nothing else. I'll make sure they know not to break any further laws.
And you'll ask about Becca?
I'll pay her the same visit. I'll make sure she knows you want her back.
On cue, his bowling ball comes back up from the lane, and he just starts walking back towards the lane to bowl the next set.
I think as the city, I want to ask, how does Pastor John feel about Becca being put in the line of fire here too?
I think that Pastor John feels that Becca is very capable. So I think he believes Becca can hold their own here. And could be there right when Becca needs him. If Becca gets knocked down pretty good, he could be there to pick her back up again and ride off into the sunset with her.
For sure.
Lockhart does one of those like cracking back kind of like stretches and kind of like just sighs to themselves like, oh, brother, like this is gonna be such a fucking mess, and then like walks out of the bowling alley.
Yeah, and that scene.
Very cool.
All right, it is my turn, I believe. I want to see Becca. I feel like we haven't seen Becca yet.
What does she want?
What would she want?
That's a really interesting cue, Sam. I like that idea of pick the character and pick what they want before you pick the accomplice. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think the what they want and who they want it from often comes like together, right? But the what they want is more important, I think, often. Maybe it's not time to see Becca yet, or maybe it's someone. I think no, this is it. Lockhart's gonna go to Becca. Lockhart wants to go to Becca, and what Lockhart wants from Becca is go calm Pastor John down before he makes more trouble.
Yeah, beautiful. I'll pick Becca up for sure.
Right. For reference, there's this little like gray circular tab next to these decks. If you grab that, you can grab the whole stack at once.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So Becca, where are we?
We're at the country club, I think. I'm with my horse. I think like the money that we stole from Barf has put me in a position where I have like a not necessarily majority stake, but like I'm like a 1/3 owner of this club, right? I'm to the point where I'm riding my horse around on the golf course, in flagrant defiance of all propriety. And I as like galloping through the wind, little chihuahua in my purse bouncing next to me, I see that stupid chicken mask
bumping up over a hill, right? Coming towards you.
Yeah, and I'll bring my horse around, and it trots over.
Yeah,
and I'm going to add peeping neighbors. I think there's a foursome of golfers that are at the tee, listening to the whole damn thing, which means I think Becca and Lockhart need to be a little careful.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Lockhart, arrives, or do you arrive at Lockhart?
Yeah, I arrive here. I'm like, hello, you cocky bastard. What are you doing here? How long has it been? Too long, too long. You seem a little hot under there. You're probably baking under all this sun.
I run cold.
Oh, I'm sure. You seem like the type. I bet I could get you a little hot and steamy under there. If you ever said yes, just coming with me on a date.
Becca, we have business to discuss.
I consider romance very serious business, darling. But
as a matter of fact, so do I.
Fantastic. Is today the day?
Today is not the day. Today is the day that we speak of Pastor John once more.
Becca like visibly shivers. Darling, why are we dwelling on past mistakes? I can assure you I have much better taste these days.
This past mistake does not seem to understand that things are in the past. And he needs to.
Oh, what's he got his panties in a twist about this time? Is he on still about heaven needing to change their name?
He's mad about the money. He's mad about Barf.
Like an eyebrow twitches at the mention of Barf. Barf is irrelevant. Nobody's concern anymore. A pathetic shell of a man who's not worth the dirt under my fingernails.
I agree. And I'm here because Pastor John needs to believe that as well. Or we're going to have trouble. He's going to make trouble for you, for me, for all of us. You're the only one he'll listen to.
A Justicar needs my help to keep the peace. Don't I feel special? I've asked you for many a favor, and you're always going on and on about heaven needing to stay neutral and, having standing alone above all else. And now in your moment of need, you come running to me.
But
I think
the rooster mask looks to the sky. We can see the eyes closed behind it, and you hear Lockhart say, "And if you do this for me, I will come as I will accompany you to one event of your choosing."
So off in the distance, we hear, "Can we play through?"
Raising the thumbs up,
I think Becca is going to. God, yeah, I think she turns and shoots them like the nastiest glare ever. Absolutely scathing.
They run away, right? They're just I'm out of here.
So woman on a horse with a chihuahua and a guy in a rooster mask.
One of them nudges the other and is like, "She owns the place. Get the fuck out of here."
Darling, I am so glad to hear you've come to your senses. I'll be sure to let all the tabloids know we're official, and I will certainly take care of this silly matter with Pastor John. Don't you worry, my darling.
Heaven appreciates your time.
And
Lockhart will walk back into the hills from whence they came.
Excellent.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
So this if we're gonna take a break, this might be a nice time to take a break. This is probably about halfway through the game.
Perfect. Let's do that. So we'll take a quick 10-minute break. When we get back from the break, we're going to figure out what the hell's going on. We'll be right back. we're back. And Sam, before we jump in, whenever we talk about like these self-contained boxed type RPGs, which is really kind of the feeling I get from this one.
Yeah.
Game length is important. You said, I feel like, Craig, we're about halfway through. How did you get a sense of that? Is there a timer in your head?
Yeah. Well, really, there's I think I'm more thinking about timing when we're on a stream like this, where I sort of said, this is probably a 2-hour experience, and we were about at the top of the hour,
Yep.
But I also, between scenes, it's like a natural breaking point. I thought also each of us having taken one turn was about a natural breaking point. And I think like my experience playing this game is that you tend to go 7 to 10 scenes in total. And so we had done 3 of those, which is less than half, but also all the setup and stuff. And so that just felt like about the halfway point to me. But it is interesting how almost anyone I play with this game with, they just sort of naturally get to a point where like everyone knows we're 3 scenes away from the end. We're 2 scenes away from the end. And that happens a little bit more at the end, but I've played the game enough to just sort of like, I can see we're 7 scenes away from the end.
Yeah. And what we're doing, right, is we keep setting up. And at some point things are going to have to break, and the people that shouldn't be meeting are going to meet. So that's cool.
Exactly.
All right. Excellent. So we left off with Sam. You picked our protagonist last.
So to just kind of do like a recap of where the plot lines are at right now, right? Barf wants to kill Becca for having left him for dead 3 years ago. Pastor John wants Lockhart to kill Barf for having stolen from them in the past. Lockhart has enlisted Becca to go to John and be like, hey, let all this shit go a little bit. And Lockhart might have to go on a date with Becca as a result. So Sarah, it's your turn. And I'm curious to see who you pick and what they want from whom.
And the only reminder I'll put in there is that I think it's possible that Pastor John is more concerned about the belief that Barf stole Becca more than stole the money.
Yes. Good call.
Yeah. I think, honestly, Barf's a simple guy. He thinks Worm was in on it. He wants Worm dead.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Craig, would you like to be Worm, or do you want to hear my Worm voice?
I want to hear your Worm voice.
Okay,
how can I say no to that?
Great. So I will be the accomplice again for this scene. And I think Worm has sort of that like classic pawn shop we were talking about earlier, right? Like it's full of dust. There's all kinds of antiques and crap around here. The store is like closed for the day, and Worm's got his like bag of wine and is just sort of like hanging it. He's locking up like while he's walking around, like taking pulls from the bag of wine straight up.
What's the name of the place?
Oh,
What's the name of it. It's got to be good.
The Wormhole.
The Wormhole. And I'm going to add branded merch, because a third of the pawn shop is stuff that Worm has pawned and it has for sale. 2/3 are T-shirts, hats, posters, koozies, bobbleheads of Worm, all branded.
It's like the hat with the little, like, it's a worm with Worm's face on the end of it, like wearing a hat is the like logo on top of the hat.
In my head, either this stuff is 10 years old because nobody buys it, or it sells out all the time. There's nowhere in the middle.
There's dust on all the pawn shop stuff, and all the merch is brand new because it turns so quick.
Yeah, actually, what he's doing,
Instagram reel about it, and it became the thing.
He's got some kind of like, Well, for a while he was just like laundering money himself through the merch, and then like one of them really popped off on Instagram, and now that's his main business. And that's like new since Barf knew him, right? So like Barf shows up and it's like, what the heck is with all this merch?
Amazing.
So how does Barf show up?
Yeah. So what's Worm doing at the moment?
Worm is doing like closing up shop stuff. Maybe Worm is like at the front door about to lock it.
Yeah, beautiful. There's a huge crashing sound as a brick comes through the front, the big front window, and there's shouting from the street. Worm, you son of a bitch! I'm here for you!
So we really should just jump into the duel procedure immediately, huh?
I I think Barf does want to be angry and yell a bit before he kills him.
Yeah.
So like if Worm has anything to say before the duel starts, but as of right now, Barf is set on. I'm going to yell at Worm a bit, and then I'm going to kill him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can do a little yelling first. So, Worm is just like, "What the heck? Oh my god!" And he starts. He like hit the deck. He like just slams to the floor, and then like down on the floor. This is the thing about a pawn shop. Like on the floor, at the front there, we've got the like glass in the window, right? That like shattered, but that's on top of like a step up, like an old ancient wooden like step that mannequins are on top of. And he like opens up that step from the inside and like pulls out a shotgun and starts just firing indiscriminately out into the street.
On the hilt of the shotgun is a picture of Worm engraved.
It's branded.
Got a few stickers on there too. That's just the same logo. Like
perfect.
It's like purple, like to match all the merch.
The wormhole shotgun.
So it's shotgun blasts are flying blindly, and Bart's like, "Shit, fuck!" And like dives for it. He's like, "Worm, wait, hold on, Worm,
I'll kill y'all."
I'm here to kill you. I'm here to kill you, and I want you to be a man about it and come out here so I can kill you.
Blam, blam, blam. Worms. You hear blam, click, click, and Worm starts like reloading.
God, like all of the cool lines Barf had rehearsed in his head for like standing on either end of the street for like in his head he envisioned like a high noon duel thing. He's like, God damn it, fine. All right, Worm, you're gonna die now. It's duel time.
Great. Okay, so we've kind of like busted through some of this already, but the first part of duels, the top of the duel sheet says, "When you meet an opponent in battle, speak a word to death, for she walks close beside you." So the short version of how this goes, we're going to build up tension. We're going to set all of our calling cards in the scene, get that sort of like high noon, like close-up shot, like back and forth kind of thing, and then we'll shuffle up our decks and play war with them.
Beautiful.
And the first thing that happens here is the city gets to go. So Craig, you get to start. You either get to take a venue card that's in play, that branded merch card, and award it to one of us, or you get to pick one of us and just automatically make them suffer a wound for like bad karma or like an accident or like, Barf having already gotten shot, whatever your justification would be.
Yeah, I think less than competent Barf gets shot by Worm. But that's and Barf is like, and I feel like Barf is like, God damn it, I didn't get a chance to use any of my lines because I'm bleeding.
Yeah.
Great. So we get that wound set in here. I'll go first on the setting scenes here. I think as I'm reloading, the like bag of wine has like skittered across the floor, and I like pause reloading to go grab the bag of wine and pull it back close to me and like take a little drink from it.
You have a Capri Sun straw. That
yeah.
Like Barf is, I think like. Barf's, I think, emaciated enough, and that he can hide behind a lamppost. Like he's that narrow, and he's like hands. I think a little bit, the knuckles a little bit bloody from some of the like buckshot that flew through. He's like wiping it off on his shirt. Like, God damn it, it's all slippery.
Yeah. So we get the shot, like the reverse shot, right? So you're like hiding, like breathing heavy, hiding behind the lamppost, right? We get the like classic Worm shot of just like this much, like peeking up from behind the wooden bench cover below, and then the major like broken nose like right on their face as they're looking out at you.
Nice.
Beady little eyes.
Yeah, Barf like. Just taking some breaths, trying to like center himself, like the way Maurice was always nagging him about, and like we see that like surprisingly young face. I think just like eyes closed, trying to do what Bart's approximation of a grounding technique for himself here.
Yeah, I think As the like dust is settling from the initial like shotgun blast, like boxes, it's like one of the mannequins like got shot, and the mannequin was like stuffed full of like old lotto tickets, and so they're just kind of like raining down like in a shower, just like around. Maybe they're even no, you know what? I think these are unsold lotto tickets. I think Worm like sells lotto tickets here, and they weren't. We won't go like stuffed in the mannequin. They were just like by the register, right?
Yeah, they got the glass case.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now they're like flying all through the air. People are like standing on the sidelines, like, can I run in there and grab some lotto tickets quick before the shooting starts again?
Yeah. Barf like hand trembling a little bit, reaches into a pocket and pulls out a packet of nicotine patches and rolls up his shirt, which is like stained yellow, and slaps one on before rolling the shirt back down, pulling out 2 pistols and turning to get ready to duel.
Yeah. This is what I should have done for the broken nose. Worm like kind of sniffs the air a little bit. Like where's that smell coming from of the off of your clothes, the old nicotine, and like zeroes in on the lamppost. Like we get the push in on the eyes, and then they kind of like flip around the doorway and start like running out to meet you.
Ooh,
beautiful.
Nice.
Oh, not running out to meet. I guess they just turn the gun towards the lamppost, and then we're gonna flip our decks over, and we're gonna click shuffle stack, and we're gonna. Craig, you want to count us in? 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, deal.
Ooh, early lead.
All right, your naive face beats my bag of wine. So I think it is like long ten. So the loser here gets to lead like what the beat of the fight looks like here, and the loser also adds a wound to shuffle into the remainder of their deck.
Got it.
So and we have also here we weren't doing this with Barf before, but these poker chips before each character are below each character's main area, are supposed to mark how many wounds they currently have. So Worm, like, you know, we're holding this tension. Worm gets nervous, like puts down the gun slightly to take another drink, and like that's when you come out to like start firing, right? You like bust out, and Worm gets clipped. Maybe even doesn't get shot, but gets like boom, like wood splinters like fly up again, and Worm's like screaming again, and has like taken some like debris into the face.
Yeah, beautiful.
So now you, as the winner of the round, get to decide: do you want to run or do you want to press the attack?
Run! I'm winning over here. I want to press the attack.
Great, Craig. You want to count us down again?
3, 2, 1, war.
Woo!
So what does the wound mean, Sam?
The wounds are high cards, right? So the more beat up you get, the wounds go into your deck, but the more badass you become.
Nice.
If you get to 3 wounds, you die. That you don't want to get that high, but like that. This is how John Wick works, right? Like towards the end of the movie, that's when he's at his most badass. So the crumpled lotto tickets here lose to the wound. I think this is you just like chasing me through the freaking store, right? I'm like retreating, and like it's not even, the wound isn't the like physical getting shot. I think Worm is like sort of preternaturally lucky and never gets shot, but it's like my merch as the merch is just like exploding around him.
I think we get a shot of like Barf chasing through the pawn shop, and like increasingly strange pieces of branded merch keep like getting in his face. He's not going. So like it's a shirt, and then it's like a branded frying pan, and then it's like a golden horse statue. Yeah,
it's amazing.
And I have to add another wound here.
Ooh, doesn't look good for Worm.
Doesn't look good for Worm, but now that deck is chock full of wounds.
Yeah.
Barf doesn't have another.
Are we ready?
No. Yeah,
I'm
3,
ready.
2. Oh wait, what are we pressing? Worm?
Yeah, 100%. Yes,
Okay,
for sure.
Yeah. I figured. 3, 2, 1, war.
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us what happens.
Yeah, wonderful. I think like Barf is like, this is going on longer than Barf and like felt it would. I think like the vision was this would be like the triumphant beginning of his revenge spree, and instead he's chasing Worm through a pawn shop, and like
it's just like a clusterfuck in the middle of the street. Like sirens are already like blaring down the block.
Yeah, like I feel like that cool he'd bastard a moment ago, like the hands start trembling again. He like hears the sirens and goes and turns long enough for Barf to turn back and fire another shotgun blast, and I think it catches Barf square in the chest. Ooh. And there's a moment of like, oh, and then like we see like the shirt shredded underneath. There's like a giant metal plate under there, but clearly Barf is in the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, so I'll give you another wound here. But now I get to decide, Worm gets to decide whether to press the attack or run. And you better believe Worm is running. Worm has never stuck around for a fight in their life. Get me out of here! And just like in the chaos, like you get knocked to the floor, wind knocked out of you, right? And like by the time you get back up, all you can hear is the like pitter patter of like Worm feet out the back, and then like an engine of like a Mini Cooper starting.
Beautiful. It's still looking over the dash of the Mini Cooper.
like old lady like here
under the steering wheel.
How's Barf feeling at the end of that?
I think dejected, you know, like Worm was supposed to be the easy one, you know. If I can get Worm dead, how am I ever gonna get to Becca? But like I think like Becca's the really scary one. So like tail right now, Barf's tail between his legs, slinking between alleyways, looking for somewhere safe.
Yeah. All right, Craig, I think it's your turn.
Yeah. Let me think here. I think we have to do. No, we don't have to do that. Let me think. I think I want to be Blabbermouth Becca.
Mm-hmm.
And I need Pastor John to stop pestering Lockhart and to just let this go so that I can have my night of ecstasy finally with Lockhart.
Yeah.
Sarah, I think you're up for Pastor John if you're up for that.
Yeah, fantastic. I don't know if I'm going to do as good a job with the voice, but I'll try my best.
All right, and so you get to, as my accomplice, you decide where, right?
Yeah. Did we establish a happy place for Pastor John? No, but I think this is right after sermon. I think this is like Wednesday mass, like the church being a fencing operation. Like we need as much activity in here as possible. So I do daily mass. Actually, like every single day I'm doing mass. On Sundays it's 3 times. So that I like as we come into the church, the pews are full of like the biggest, bulkiest goons you ever seen, all like pretending to pay a lot of attention. And then when the like plate for alms goes around, people are dropping in like wads of cash.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining that I'm in the back. And at first you don't see me, but as you start preaching, I kind of scoot over so that we have direct line. And every time you mention Jesus, I pop a button. To make sure I get your attention. So my blouse is slowly unbuttoning every time you mention Jesus.
My calling card for this scene is going to be cooing pigeons. I think that like it's old church. We just got they're outside, you know, but it's like a what time? We haven't really talked about like what season it is or anything like that. I'm imagining it's like hot, like summer, and like the stained glass windows are kind of cracked a little bit, and we can all kind of hear the pigeons just outside nesting on the roof.
Yeah. So I think like Pastor John manages to keep his cool for like 2 buttons, right? And then very quickly is like wrapping things up, starts changing his language to be like the Holy Son instead of saying Jesus, and like gets everyone like, okay, Hail Mary, Amen, and like shoos people off. Like the vibes are a little weird, but everyone here knows this is money laundering anyway, so not that weird maybe. And Pastor John comes like scurrying down the aisle towards Becca. Becca, my darling, I haven't seen you in so long. Welcome back into the fold.
I have to say, you're thin as usual. You know that's my thing. You haven't put on a pound, sweetheart.
Slicking back of the hair, you know how it is. It's all those communion wafers. They really keep a body going. I'm afraid I have some. I'm looking for you. I'm wanting to warn you, Lockhart. He's looking for you. I think he's finally, I think he still believes you were involved with that horrible business years ago.
Oh, sweet love, you know that can't be true.
Of course.
Who else would I want under me but you?
Well, I'm always under God, of course, but it's certainly you're such a beauty. You've been in my dreams, but I'm afraid that devil, that demon Barf, is going to come and hurt you or and like get in the way of our love.
Maybe his honeyed words don't work on me anymore, especially now that I've heard you mentioning our Lord and Savior. Here's what I want. I want you to let this go. And in return, I'll help you let go.
Of course. I can see how worried you are about me, my darling, and I promise you, it's all going to be over very soon. I've made sure of that.
Okay, you'll put on the little red costume and go down to the basement. I'll meet you down there.
And the pulls at his collar. As wonderful as that sounds, dear, I have a other business to attend to, and I think like you see, as like we're talking in the middle here, the goons have not gone away. And like they're pulling out boxes from under pews, and you hear bullets being loaded into magazines, and like I think it's very, very obvious that like this is a trap I'm laying for Barf.
What do you think is going to happen? He's not going to come here, sweet love. He's not going to come here.
That boy has the devil in him, my love, and I don't care if I have to burn this entire building down with us in it. I will make sure that devil is sent far away again.
What if I call you Judas while we're together, like you used to love? Well, then you let it go. I'll give you your last supper.
I think like past like John's sweating, like actively like beads of sweat dripping down his face.
And I think Blabbermouth does like a basic instinct leg recross and uncross, totally wearing like bloomers under that, right?
Yeah, I think well, I suppose I suppose my flock can tend to this themselves, and we can concern ourselves with worship. Yes, worship is what we can concern ourselves with. It's been so long, darling. I've missed your touch. Downstairs, you said?
Yes, honey. I've missed you as well.
The Pastor John's gonna immediately like about face on his heel and like back's completely straight go walking to the basement.
Damn. So
He
so
turns
if I-
around. Becca's face immediately changes. Like, this fucking
100%.
guy. Like,
and she goes, she points to three of the goons. She goes, you, and you're the three wise men. Come on. Has them follow.
Yeah.
wow. All right.
Oh, boy, we got
Okay.
we got Pastor John to fold.
Yeah.
At least for now. I don't know. Will
Yeah.
he stick to it?
Beautiful. Okay. Whose turn is it?
It's my turn, I believe. Okay. So let's take stock. What's Lockhart like? Is kind of feels like they're obligated to go have a conversation with Barf, but probably isn't in a hurry. Pastor John and Becca are occupied at the moment.
Mhm.
Oh, I know the scene I wanted to do. Worm. I'm gonna be Worm, and I'm gonna come to Becca being like, "He's back. He knows. Shelter me."
Yeah. Phenomenal. Craig, do you want to pick up Becca?
I just got finished playing Becca, so if you're up
true.
for it, Seraphine, I'd love for you to take her.
I'll stick around. Yeah.
Okay. So where are we?
That's a great question. I think probably not inside the church anymore, but like probably not that far away either. I think like Becca is walking out into the sunlight. Clothes still, of course, as pristine as they were when she walked in. Like doesn't look like she's done any exertion whatsoever. But she's come out, and I think we catch her in the middle of giving her little purse puppy an opportunity to relieve himself on one of the trees in front of the church. I think probably on the cornerstone of the church.
You're hanging out there. There's like a tree in the yard, right?
Yeah.
Minnie Cooper runs into the tree. Door opens up. Worm like tumbles out. They get up off the ground and look at you and they're like, Becca! Becca! He's back!
Hi, Worm. Hello. I am even less inclined to patience right now. Who's back? What's going on?
Barf, he shot up my shot. He ruined the whole crop of merch.
Is he dead?
No! I think I got him good, though. I think I got him once. But no, he's still trying to shoot me up. You need some shoebox you can hide me in.
We see a close-up shot of how big Becca's feet are.
Yeah. Becca walks over, I think, and like kneels down to be like, still kneeling. I think almost eye-to-eye with Barth. Still a little taller.
This is like Steven Universe to like Rose Quartz, like size difference, right? Like
and like comes down and like looks kind to the world, like putting a hand on Worm's shoulder, and then the hand leaps out and like around Worm's neck. I think like you feel those snake venom nails pressing into the side of your throat, not quite drawing blood. If you got him good, why are you here while he's still alive?
He's coming for you next. You don't want to kill me.
I think you should be less concerned about who he's coming for and more concerned with what's right in front of you.
You're not afraid. You should be afraid.
Oh, I'm afraid of very few things, but I've grown comfortable with my new status of living. A status of living that paid for all that wonderful merch of yours, and that only lasts as long as Barf is a silly little nuisance who's not bothering anybody. If the pastor or anyone, then Becca, breathe, Becca. Okay. Where is he? Where do you last see him?
My shop.
Okay. You said he was in rough shape?
Yeah.
Okay. I suppose you didn't do as terribly as you could have. So I'll extend you a little bit of grace. If he's hurt, he's going to go to Maurice. I'll send some of Pastor John's guys there. They'll make sure nobody walks out alive. And if I see you again while Barf still breathes, you will live very, very briefly to regret it. And the nails dig in just a little bit more before I let go.
So you kind of like walk off with your dog, right? And like leave Worm like alone there. And Worm, like the thought going through Worm's head is, that lady's gotta die. Like, oh, I get it. Barf's the good guy. Copy that. And they like get back into the car, like turn back on the engine, and like try to get back out of there.
God, all right.
With a little bit less of a bumper.
Cannot wait to see what you pick, Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah, where are we?
Yeah, I think Barf is going to Maurice for aid.
Totally.
He's a predictable guy.
I would love to play Maurice if I could.
Take him.
We're back at Maurice's place.
Okay.
And it's in the basement. And there's somebody we've never seen before on the couch, bleeding out, missing fingers, and I'm taking care of them. This is what I do.
Yeah.
And then I'm imagining Barf comes down the steps. Oh, look at you. Who's it going to be?
Hold on. Let me return spare characters. I think we want Queenie or Hideko.
Let's do Hideko.
Great.
And so as you're coming down, all right, and we got to return the venue card. Do we have, do you want to use, is that going to be our venue or do we have something else?
No, I think we can go back to it's your place again, right? So we got that cracked concrete. Let's just, we can remember that. And if it comes up, it only really comes up when we get into duels or other flipping. So if it comes up, then we can find it.
So as you're coming down, you again see mountain of a man almost blocking the entire couch before we can even see his patient. He's got the mole, and so you'll have to be here for 3 years, and over those 3 years you will heal and eat many eggs.
Maurice,
I will build back up my courage. Hold on. I will build back up my courage, and then I will take my revenge.
I know. But first, we got to get these fingers replaced.
And then she kind of like passes out.
Yeah. In that quiet moment is when Barf bobs in. It's like, Maurice, I fucked up, Maurice. Oh, I'm hurt real bad. Oh God, it hurts. Oh fuck. Help me.
I stand up and I look at Worm. I look at Hideko. I look at Worm.
Oh,
I don't have room for two.
It's not Worm, right? It's Barf.
Oh, I'm sorry, Barf.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like this is a situation. I don't have two couches.
Yeah.
You're going to go back and do your thing. I have a new border.
She's asleep over there. Just give me some of those pills.
Who shot you?
Maurice. It was Worm.
Worm. Show me where.
Yeah. I think like unbutton the Hawaiian shirt. Peel off the big metal plate I have strapped to me with a couple of belts. And like sternum's completely bruised, like black and blue all over. Like probably some internal bleeding in there, for sure.
Next to Maurice is the cast iron skillet. You see him pour eggs onto the plate and put it on the stomach of his new patient. And he comes over like he's going to tape the skillet now to your chest as a replacement. And as soon as your hands are occupied, you feel the pistol barf again. This time on the tip of your forehead. I'm sorry.
You didn't
This
spend
has to stop.
You didn't spend 3 years patching me up to take me out like this.
I have one couch, not two.
I'm not. Listen, you do this for me. I won't bother you ever again.
And you just feel the gun press a little bit more into your forehead, or barf. I don't know why I keep saying barf. I'm not relenting. You either leave standing, or I dig the hole.
Okay. I think so. I have my heart exposed here, I think. So going back to the moves. So if I think you've come in with my heart exposed. So are you choosing to inflict a wound upon me instead of healing one?
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
All right. So that would kill Barf.
Oh,
but the Bloodhound has some plot armor. So there's a special move that only the Bloodhound gets called Call on the Past, where we get to flash back to the origin of one of their calling cards, where they find strength in that calling card to instead not die in the moment. So Barf, Sarah, gets to pick the calling card, and then the city gets to do the flashback here to show how you do not die of a broken heart or a gunshot in this moment.
Yeah. I think I'm going to pick Stench of Cigarettes for that flashback.
Yeah. I think we flash back to... This is interesting. I've never had it happen before that the exposing your heart is the thing that kills you. This is so exciting to me. I wrote the move so excited for the day when this would come. Because I'm inclined to say that the flashback is to very young Barf and very young Becca. We're talking 16, right? Start smoking together on basically a dare. But I feel like there's something so heartwarming and then tragic once we come back to the present about that moment to me. I see them having bought the cigarettes at a bodega, and now they're under a bridge and just trying to figure out how to inhale properly and doing their thing while it's pouring rain around them. But when we come back to the present, I want to connect that back to Maurice somehow, right? It feels like in this moment, one of the things that would give you strength is some sort of connection to how things were with Maurice. Maybe then we also get the flashback of when you were starting to recover, the first thing that you remember consciously after Maurice sort of brought you in was watching them take your cigarettes, throw them in the garbage, and putting a thing of nicotine patches next to the couch.
Yeah, I think I know what happens next year. Then I think Barf is going to gently, indicating not threateningly, nudge the gun aside, and then get up and off the couch. He's gonna reach into a pocket and pull out a sealed box of matches, of cigarettes.
Nice.
Rip the plastic and take one out. Do you have a light?
Maurice takes the gun, puts it back, and goes, "Now I don't have to kill you, because those things will." And he pulls out his Zippo and lights the cigarette for you. "Now go die."
Takes a long drag off of it. Exhales it all out. With a groan, comes to his feet. Be seeing you, Maurice.
Next time, it will not go well. This is 2. You get 1 more. And bring plates next time.
Only IKEA.
I think like normally the plates are like Barf would like take this opportunity to like needle you or like fuck with you a bit. None of that.
Yeah.
Like face is stone cold. He just gets up and walks out.
Running out of allies too, right?
Yeah.
I like it.
Sam, I stick with the 2 wounds in my deck, right?
That's correct.
Cool.
But that was
All right.
it, right? If we have another situation where Barf takes a wound, we're done.
So he can do that once for each of his core 3 calling cards. So he's lost one of his 3 plot armors.
Oh, he
basically.
lost. Oh, I get it.
So you can never go back to do the origin of the cigarettes
cool.
again. But we've got 2
Perfect.
more origin stories that he can do.
Perfect. All right. So Maurice can go back.
Whose turn is it? Does anyone remember?
C'est moi, I believe, right?
Right. Yeah.
I know I want Worm. And Worm wants Lockhart to protect him.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So he's coming for shelter. And I think we're no, I don't get to pick this, the accomplice.
Yeah. I know where we are.
Okay.
Sarah, I'm casting you as Becca in this scene.
Okay.
Tell me what event Becca has brought Lockhart to this very evening.
Oh God. I think it's line dancing. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. What's the venue card for this? Oh, shuffling crowds, certainly.
Yeah. I think shuffling crowds
every day they're shuffling.
I'm going to say some curvy architecture here too. Sure. I think this is a country bar, but it's a classy country bar in like the nice part of town. So it's all like wooden sculptures and like exposed metal beams everywhere. Yeah.
Great. So we're out there doing the line dances. Lockhart's like, the whole body language is just like, ugh.
Becca's having the time of her life. Yeah.
I think what we see effectively from our height is we just see the 10-gallon hat just coming across the dance floor and tugs on the back of Lockhart's jacket.
Yeah.
Lockhart!
Ugh. Wormy.
Everybody's trying to kill me now.
Yeah,
all of them. She's trying to kill me. You're offline dancing.
100%.
Right off there. Worm tried to kill me.
Barf tried to kill you.
God, what is my issue with Barf and Worm?
Worm is just a fun word to say also.
God, it must be. Barf is trying to kill me. I claim protection from heaven.
Barf tried to kill you. But Lockhart doesn't. It didn't feel like Lockhart could like get more exhausted, and in this moment just goes like it doesn't say anything, right? But it's like becomes a liquid, right? Like seeps down another 6 inches of height, and is like, you gotta. Were there witnesses?
No, but there's this, and I start pulling merch out that has bullet holes in it, and this, and then my hat, and then the bobblehead.
They're clattering all over the floor. I think they like get Becca's attention.
Lift my hat up. I'm pulling stuff out of the hat.
You turn the hat around. The tag is branded. Like
Becca's beginning to make her way through, but like it's a pretty dense bar. It's gonna take her a minute to get through the crowd over to the 2 of you.
She's coming. She'll kill me.
Becca. Well, no. First, Lockhart mutters, "Well, at least one good thing will come from this." And he turns to Becca and he says, "Becca, I'm so sorry. Urgent matters have come up. I must leave you." Barf has broken the laws of heaven.
I am so sorry to hear that, darling. Staring daggers at Worm the entire time. But of course, you know what I admire most about you is your dedication and service to heaven. Of course, we'll have to finish this another time.
So that's a no, Lockhart?
You better hope I find it before he finds you.
But don't leave me with her.
Lockhart like turns and walks out the door. You can, I guess, like on their way, they're like, "You can come if you want."
I think I waddle and,
Yeah.
and following you, just hoping to God that Becca doesn't follow as well.
Yeah. What's Becca do?
You know, I think she takes being stood up like this well, and I think she's going to signal to the DJ to put on her favorite song, and she's going to party the night away. I think in her mind, Lockhart's on the case. Don't need to worry about Barf anymore. Barf's not a concern anymore.
Sure.
Well, you can't leave us hanging, Serafina. What's the favorite song? What's Becca's song?
Oh, I don't know enough songs for line dancing.
I don't think it has to be a line dancing song. We could have a record scratch to completely change the.
Yeah, we're transitioning into karaoke. What's your karaoke song?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Okay, no, hon. I'm double checking the name of the song.
She pulls a microphone out of her purse.
It's absolutely "Shake It Off" by Taylor Swift.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And the line dancing is behind you. They can go right lockstep. Yeah. Worm, and I don't know if you see it or not, but as soon as Worm realizes you're far enough, a safe distance away, and he's close enough to Lockhart, he gives you the finger.
All right.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So I'm up next, and I guess there's a chance that we actually don't cut this scene because I want to pick Barf coming for Becca.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. I think I want to hang on to Becca if that's cool with you. Yeah.
No, I
cool.
think so too.
Yeah. I guess as we're framing this, like, how much time do we think has passed since the Lockhart Worm scene? Like, is Barf walking in as they're walking out?
Yeah, I mean, we could even just have like Lockhart's walking towards the door and like fucking Barf like enters, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think. Yeah, Becca is just getting into the song when like. I think framing this is like one of Becca's usual haunts, and I think she does this performance every once in a while. It's kind of infamous in the crowd. So it's like we have an audience at this point. Like they've cleared the floor, and like they're giving her a lot of space to like fully like dance her feelings out. And like I think this is the moment that Barf makes whatever entrance he's going to make.
Yeah. I think I think she like finishes the song and like he's called up as the next singer.
Yeah. Well, okay. I have to ask then, what song did he put on the queue for when it was his turn?
Has one of those little karaoke fill out forms that has Sam's handwriting on it.
Yeah. I think I have one that's like a fun pun, but is there what's a song with like you better run? Is there like that kind of tone for the song, right? The thing I was thinking of was, I don't think this is what the lyric means in the actual song, but "Take on Me."
I think that's 100% what it is.
Oh, it is? Okay, great. I've never actually read the lyrics to the song. I don't know what they are, but yeah. So he's singing "Take on Me." He gets up there like with that started, and just like fucking they start the next song like before he's up there. They like call him up and start the song like as he's like getting ready, but like you're looking around like, where is this fucking guy?
Yeah, for 100%. I'm looking around, and I think Becca's muttering under her breath, "There's no way he can do that high note." And I like she for sure has security here. Like they're not like staying right next to her the whole time, but like she doesn't go anywhere without a couple of bodyguards. So she catches their eyes and like snaps to them to like find him. And she's trying to figure out where he is.
Yeah. Let's just like go to the duel procedure maybe to set up this moment. I'm trying to find an appropriate card here that I can edit into goons for you. Maybe I'll edit this uncanny silence into goons. So do you want to maybe, I guess you just set the goons in the scene. So maybe that's that.
I think like I think as the goons are searching, like they also know the drill. They're like shoving people out the door, like they are clearing the bar. They get trying to like remove whatever cover Barf might use to hide among the crowd.
Yeah, great. Barf, I think you're still looking around the crowd, like it's thinning out. Where is he? But you can smell it now, right? And you can smell that like fresh cigarette smoke, not just the sort of like classic Barf cigarette smoke, right?
Becca is, I think, like she's like moved behind the bar at this point. Like the bartender has gone the heck out of Dodge, right? Like knows that she's about to go down, and she's tapping her nails against the lacquered bar top.
Yeah. Barf. God, we get somewhere dark in the space as it's thinning out, like in a shadow. We get the like clenched fist of his bloody knuckles, right? Like blood dripping down, or dried blood on top of the prosthetics.
Yeah. Becca is, I think she's taking the purse, and it has an extra strap that she pulls out that she uses to buckle it around her torso to like secure it in place.
Beautiful.
Becomes a baby Bjorn. Yeah. Great. And then finally, like stepping out from a shadow, like you're like boxed in by goons, sort of doing like, like where could he be coming from? He just like walks out from like a shadow, like back by the bathrooms or something like that, and he's holding a gun in one hand, he's got his clenched fist in the other, and he just says, "We were partners, Becca."
No, we weren't. You were a patsy. You always thought you were so important, like you were going to run this town. Look at you. You're barely standing. What are you doing, Barf? Listen, lie down and let me kill you painlessly, and maybe this can all be over. And as I'm saying that, I'm going to rip a horseshoe off the wall that I'm going to use like a sort of like a brass knuckles.
Amazing.
Hell yeah. So I'm gonna say that my wounds were the sort of emotional pain of having been betrayed by you, and pull back and shuffle up. And Craig, I think you should feel free, like between rounds here, if you think there's an appropriate time for Lockhart to like show back up and to have come back in, you should feel free to do that.
Yeah, and I think that maybe those that have watched this like the fourth or fifth time realize that in the background, Lockhart is there the whole time, just leaning against the wall, watching it. But you didn't notice it the first 2-3 times you watched this. It's the fourth time, like at Easter egg, Lockhart's been watching the whole time. So we see him in the back.
All right. Yeah. You want to count down for us again?
I do. 3, 2, 1, war.
All right.
Yeah. I think Becca is fast, and she's in much better shape than Barf is here. But she's also got a bit of an ego on her, and she's definitely not taking Barf seriously in this moment. So as she leaps over the bar, like one hand, like catapulting herself over, as the other one comes down with the horseshoe in her hand. As like she's looking and she's like, the gun's not even pointed at me. I got plenty of time. And her eyes glance down and see that Barf's other hand has a pistol. And like she twists her body just enough that the bullet catches her. Instead of struck her between the eyes, it like deflects off of her temple. And now there's like, now there's blood coming down, and she's a little shaken. But like she quickly, I think, like gets back on her feet, very acrobatic lady, and is trying to like zigzag back and forth to get closer.
Yeah,
we cut to Lockhart. He's checking to make sure there's a gun and the bullet in the chamber.
We forgot to do the thing where the city gets to like hand out a calling card here. Do you want to do that now between rounds?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to give the curvy architecture to Becca.
Great.
Okay.
Do you want to set it in the scene for us a little bit?
I think that this is where we're seeing Becca move, right? This is Becca's territory. This is where Becca knows things. So Becca is doing an amazing job of taking full advantage of every piece of cover, every curved wall. The bar is just like this snake shape. And I'm just like, we have seen Barf come into Becca's lair. This is where she knows the lay of the land.
All right. Yeah. Count us in.
3, 2, 1, war.
Ooh, right in time.
So we get that moment where like you're right back up there. I think you just like maybe even fling the horseshoe at Barf's head, and we get just like a flash back to like the two of us like smiling together under that bridge, like smoking the cigarettes, and like that in that flash, I like hesitate, right? And like I get clonked in the temple. So again, this would kill me, but I get to call on the past again. So I wanna see the origin of my naive face.
Yeah. I think we flash back to just moments after that where we see Becca and Barf 2/3 of the way through the cigarette, and Barf has just this look of anger and twisted, just awful face on him, and Becca goes, "Now, if you keep smoking them, you won't gain a pound, and you'll be exactly what I desire." And that's when his face just melts to this calm, serene, naive face.
Yeah, really good.
And then back to the present, where it's like, I think if we're gonna see this calling card again, and we probably won't at this point, I feel like it's not naive so much anymore. It's just like optimistic, right? Like he's not sort of wrong. It's not like he doesn't understand how the world works now anymore the way that he once did. It's that he's always hoping, he's hoping it'll work out for him.
Yeah, really good.
Are we ready?
Well, yeah. Presumably, we're skipping over the part where we can choose to run, but I don't think anyone's running from this.
No,
I think this is it right here.
Yeah.
Now, did we take out Naive Face? So Naive Face is no longer in Barf's deck?
It should still be in my deck, actually.
Do we?
You can't pick it for a flashback again.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
That's right. I understand. I got it. Okay. Yeah. 3, 2, 1, deal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's my second wound. God, I think, I know this space like this is one of my happy places for sure. So I'm trying to use like the columns and the bars and to like give myself enough cover. But I'm like, Barf just keeps coming. Like, I don't know how he does it. I don't think I've ever known how he does it. But like the one thing I could never really explain about Barf is nothing could really like put him down, like, emotionally, physically. He's the kind of guy who ignores everything bad that happens to him and keeps bringing that same face to the world. And like maybe once upon a time that's what endeared me to him. But now it's just goddamn annoying. As Becca's running out of breath a little bit here.
Great. So another thing I want to call out here, a rule that I actually haven't used this rule in a long time, but characters are allowed to jump in and take wounds for each other too. So that's another way that like Lockhart or Worm could jump in somewhere in this whole situation.
So in my mind, as we keep cutting to Lockhart, we just see him making sure that he's ready, because I think in Lockhart's mind, he's going to finish. Whoever wins here is going to lose to Lockhart in Lockhart's mind. So he's going to let the two of you sort this out. So we just keep cutting to him, checking to make sure the gun is right, checking the aim, practicing the draw,
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Count us down.
3, 2, 1, deal.
No. Okay. I got one left though. I got the bloody knuckles left. You could maybe describe the whole beat of this too. Like, tell me about how Barf gets beat up before we like flash back here.
Yeah. So I think again, it's a situation where it is advantage Becca, and it seems like Barf is always one step behind. Shoots at the column. She's behind the other column, and I think Becca throws, grabs another horseshoe, throws another horseshoe, and it knocks off the cast iron pan, gets ripped off of his chest. We have the exposed sternum. We see like it took some of his flesh with it. So shirt off, just this red scarred ring of blood where the pan used to be. And the bloody knuckles flashback is right before Becca came to pick up Barf, and we see him punching the wall to get himself psyched up for the big job, and we just see the knuckles just slowly degrade and become bloody, and then we hear the door slam as we hear the horse come to a stop outside of Barf's place.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, I only got one card left here, so we better make it count.
You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, deal.
Okay, that's my third wound. So I get to narrate my last moments, right?
Yeah, at great length. You are required to at great length.
Yes, phenomenal. I think I have I just knocked Barf to the ground, wailing on him, like punching that stupid smile off his face. And as like bruised and battered, he's still like that stupid smile is still shining up at me. My hand comes up not in a fist, but like with claws outstretched, right? The snake venom nails ready to come down and deal this final blow. And I look at that smile, and there's just a moment where I hesitate. And I remember before I spent years with him, before every stupid idiosyncrasy wore me down, before I got sick and tired of his constant insistence that he was going to run this town. That brief moment where I kind of liked him, my hand pauses for a moment. And I think that's just long enough for Barf to come up and grab my wrist. And there's a duel of strength here. Like, I'm trying to bring my hand down on Barf's face, and he's pushing back up at me. And by all accounts, this should not be a contest, but slowly my own hand is turned towards me as Barf takes it and pushes it into my chest, my own nails digging in, the venom as close to my heart as it can be. And like, we see like the veins turning purple in Becca's face as it seizes up in her body.
Oh, that's so cool.
And she, I think, looking down at Barf, lets out, like, with a gasp, those last words. Can't believe it was you. And then dies.
So if it's okay, Sam, I think we then cut to Barf getting up, kind of moving Becca's body off, stand up. Camera turns around. We see Lockhart has the pistol half a millimeter away from the back of Worm's head, or Barf's head. God damn. Barf's head. Cut to black. We hear a gunshot. We don't know whose gun it was.
Sure. I love that.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah.
Credits roll.
Yeah, in fact, we are going to jump to credits, and we'll talk about the game on the other side. We'll be right back. We're back. All right. So I purposely, Sam was very generous, sent me all the materials. I listened to Seraphina's wonderful episode on Dice Exploder about the game, started to watch one of the other APs, and I stopped because I really wanted to not spoil what was happening here and kind of experience it as a new player. Couple quick comments. One, this type of game, and Sam, you and I have talked about it. I love this type of game. It's why we like a lot of Jason's work. It's like, I just like boxed games. We were talking about Camping for Gamers, and that was a big hit at Camping for Gamers. We tried all these different, sets. Oh, Captain, My Captain, The Time We Have, just these nice little tight little games that you can get done in less than 2 hours. Very interesting dual use of the cards to become prompts, but they also are the war. And I love the fact that we keep using them to help us narrate things, because I like that creative restriction where, I need to figure out, where does the bloody knuckles fit in for a flashback, because we now are there. And it's amazing how just it comes through. And then just the magic of this hobby, which is we had a bunch of cards, we were playing war, but we told an entire arc of a story because we're just natural storytellers.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It's great. I really love the magic of, you write any two weird little calling card phrases onto cards, you flip them up, and then you're like, okay, how does this become a beat of a fight? And every single person I've ever seen do it just comes up with something incredible, and something I've never seen in a movie before too. It's really cool magic, just that players are able to do that. People are able to do that.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. And now, Seraphina, for you, this is what, the 485th time you've played the game. Can you talk about what happens on the fourth or fifth play? Like, after you've played this several times, is there things about the game that you start to realize, or?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I've played this game like first time with Sam, who obviously has a very intimate familiarity with every aspect of it, and then I played it once with a couple people who were familiar with John Wick, and the last time I played it was with someone who had never seen John Wick.
Oh,
and I've
wow.
never seen any of the touchdowns for the movie. And what I love is getting those different perspectives on those same game elements, like getting those same characters that. This is something I think comes up like a lot with in games that I play with pre-gens, and it's especially true here. There's a sense that whenever you make a choice with one of these characters, it always feels like, well, that's the obvious choice, right? That's the only choice. And then the next time someone makes a different choice, and it still feels like, well, of course that was the only choice you could have made, right? Every single time, like the energy a unique group brings to the game means that like whatever unique choices they make feel natural and feel smooth, and that's wonderful, especially with a game that's so cinematic like this, where like most of the people playing this are not going to have the experience of making a movie or like working in that kind of production like Sam has background in, but like the calling cards and the scene setting and the pacing of the duels, like it still like makes you feel like you have that skill of like bringing back those recurring motifs, bringing back those overarching themes. And every time I play this game, I feel like I did a really good job, and that's only because the game itself sets me up for success really well.
Yep. Oh, that's really, really cool. So my last question, Sam, before we leave, obviously everybody can go to Kickstarter, they can back it and get their hands on it. I backed the digital and the physical. Can you talk to me a little bit what I can look forward to seeing in the mail?
Yeah. So the digital version will give you, I'll do first, we'll give you all the tools that you kind of saw on display here, right? This playingcards.io template. There's 4 different playingcards.io templates that will come with the game that you can load up and play on that site. You also get all the PDFs and stuff. And there's going to be like this will be basically the physical version also that I'm about to describe. But there's like a book that's going to be 60 to 90 pages, something like that.
Oh, wow.
With all the rules, and a lot of that book is rules, but it's also guidance, it's examples, it's like a lot of the tone setting. There's like 2 pages at the front that are me just talking about playing with toys as a kid, all that kind of stuff. And a huge section of the book at the back is lists of potential venues, like places you might go to, and calling cards that you might come in. And this is something else we were talking about on the break, right? But like, if you just write all the calling cards as cyberpunk stuff, then like suddenly you're playing a cyberpunk game, right? Yep. Or if you write them all as like urban fantasy stuff, like the game becomes like Constantine or something, And so there's going to be a lot of play sets from that, from a bunch of really cool contributors too. John Harper's writing a list of vehicles for calling cards, right? So nice. A bunch of cool vehicles. Do that Fast and the Furious thing, or Caro Assertion has a Toontown playset that is like Roger Rabbit, right? If you want to get a little bit more slapstick with it. So the book is full of a ton of that stuff too. So there's a version of the physical edition where you get all the PDFs, including like printouts of play sheets, printouts for making your own cards at home, right? You can print out cards and then use like magic cards and sleeves and proxies and stuff to shuffle them up and whatever. And you can just get the book, or you can get the box set. And I think that's what you ordered, Craig. Yes. So the box set is going to have in it the book. It's going to have these, right now it's 12 character cards. We'll see how the campaign does. Maybe it'll end up being more of that. But the 12 cards we kind of saw on camera today. And then you'll also get 2 different, basically like board game, like game boards that are the powder kegs. So like a layout of something that looks very similar to what we saw on the table today on that kind of green poker background. So there'll be 2 different double-sided boards there for, again, 4 different powder keg play sets that you can play through to make the game a little bit more replayable.
Yeah, and the perfect thing for me just to put under my arm and take for a game night and put it out in front of people, which I think is fantastic.
And the other thing that I really like about that, and I was really playtesting this last night for one of the first times, but so this game chews through a deck of playing cards when you play it, right? Because in person, you get a deck of playing cards, and then you're just like writing with permanent marker on those cards. And you could, I guess, write on sleeves or something instead, but you still have this sort of like permanent writing thing. And it's, first of all, so much fun to write on those cards. But second of all, you then at the end, you have this deck of cards with all these things written on it, right? And you might think, well, no, I've ruined a deck of playing cards. Or you stick that deck of cards in the box with the rest of the game, you bust it back out next time, and now it's like a legacy game, right? You get to build up this mythology, right? Like we could, even if we're playing again next time and we decide that, Barf is alive again or whatever in this story, it starts to feel like a collection of fables, like your Barf is going to have a certain set of things. Like we changed Barf's face, like from naive to optimistic, right? And if we were in person, we would have crossed out naive on the card, written optimistic, and then next time we played, Barf would get that card back, and you would understand this guy used to be naive and now he's optimistic. And I think maybe that works best with like 2 decks of playing cards. So you can kind of you get those classic bicycle playing cards. So you like reload the deck with some more stuff going on. Last night I ran a one shot of this and busted out 3 different decks that I had like chewed through in playtesting and kind of shuffled them all together and like put out the best of the stuff. And you also then you get these recurring motifs because you start writing out the venue calling cards too, right? So you end up finding out your city is just really foggy all the time, right? Or like
shit ton of pigeons.
It's just exactly. It's just, you really have a pigeon problem in this city, or it's constantly raining, or like I had one interesting game where there's like a mayoral election going on, right? So there's like posters up everywhere for the candidates, and like those kind of carried through from game to game. So cool. So all of that I think is very exciting about the game too.
Very, very cool.
I remember at Breakout recently, like we played twice that weekend, and the first time you busted out a brand new blank deck, and the second time we reused that deck, and it was especially cool to see it with a new group of people.
Yeah,
like when they're picking up cards, they're like, I remember what that card meant in the last game, but you're bringing new life to it by playing it for the first time here. Fantastic time.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, folks, we do appreciate it. Sam, always good to see you. Serafina, this was a real pleasure. And thanks everybody for watching. Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.